We're going to have a look at division with fractions today. We're going to use a slightly different model. So we're given the calculation 4 divided by a third. Now we remember that fractions are part of a whole. So what I need to have a look at, so 0 to 1, that's my first whole. I need to split that into thirds. And then my next whole, 1 to 2, is going to be split into thirds, and we keep going. So I've now split my whole 4 into thirds. So to calculate 4 divided by thirds, I need to have a look at how many thirds I have. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 of them. So 4 divided by a third, so how many thirds make up 4 is 12. So I would like you to use this model to work out these two that I've just put on the board here. So pause the video, go and work them out first, and then come back and you can check your answers. Okay, so you should have paused the video, and now you've come back to check your answers. So the first one was 3 divided by a third. So you should have drawn your model here as 3. Now each whole one, you should have split into 1, 2, 3 parts for your thirds. Now we can see how many thirds we have in total. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of them. So we know that 3 divided by a third is equal to 9. Now you may be relating this back to a previous lesson at this point and thinking, well, hang on a minute. I know that 3 divided by a third is the same as saying 3 multiplied by 3 over 1. Now I know that 3 over 1 would be the same as saying 3 multiplied, so 3 over 1 is still 3. So we could write that as just 3, and then I know that 3 times 3 is 9. So you should be starting to see these patterns. So the second one was 2 divided by 2 thirds. Now you should have noticed something different about this one. We're not using a unit fraction anymore, so we've got 2 thirds. The same principle still applies. We still need to split each whole one into thirds, like I have here, 1, 2, 3. So 1 was split into 3 parts. But this time I've shaded 2 thirds, and then another 2 thirds, and then another 2 thirds. And we can see that I've got 3 different ones in total. Now you may be able to then say, well, hang on, that's the same as saying 2 multiplied by 3 over 2. So I know that I can do 2 multiplied by 3, which would give me 6, divided by 2, which would then give me 3. Okay, so now I want us to have a look at this last one here. So what's different about this one? So now we're not dealing with an integer, we have 2 fractions. We have 5 6 divided by 6. So how could we apply what we've just been looking at for this question? So 5 6 divided by 1 6. So I've got my whole one here and I've split it into 5 6. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 6 there. Now I'm going to draw another model for you to help you. We know that 5 6 is the same as saying, so we know that 5 6 divided by 1 6 is the same as saying 5 6 multiplied by 6 over 1, which we also know is the same as saying 5 6 multiplied by 6. So let me draw this out. I have here, so here are all my 5 6. And I have 6 lots of them, so each colour represents one lot of. So how much have I now got in total? Well, this is one whole bar. Now I've got 2 whole bars. Oh, it doesn't look like a 2. I've got 3, 4. I have 5 whole bars. Okay, so 6 lots of 5, 6 is equal to 5. Now you may have said, well, actually I can use my knowledge here of multiplication, because 5 times 6 would give me 30. 6 times 1 we know is 6. And we know that 30 divided by 6 is equal to 5. So I've given you 2 different models you can use here. If you're quite confident with this, you might want to use this model here. Or you can, if you're not sure, you can absolutely draw it to help you. Okay, one for you to now try to make sure that you've understood it before we go away and practice it. So pause the video again, see if you can draw this model or use your knowledge of multiplication and answer this question for me. Make sure you pause the video. Okay, so a half divided by 1/6. Now we know from our prior knowledge that's the same as saying a half multiplied by 6 over 1. So I could draw a different model or I could use my multiplication. So let's have a look at the drawing a different model first. So this is the same as saying 6 lots of, because 6 divided by 1 is the same as 6 lots of. So if I've got 6 lots of a half, I've got 1 half, 2 halves, 3 halves, 4 halves, 5 halves, 6 halves. Okay, and so I know that that's 1 whole, that's then 2 whole, that is 3 whole. So I know that it equals 3. Now you could have used this here and said, well, I know that 1 times 6 is 6, 2 times 1 is 2, and I know that 6 divided by 2 is 3. So that's 2 different methods that you could have used. Okay, go and have a go now at some of the questions and see how you get on. Remember, your teachers are there. If you get stuck, just ping them a message and they will absolutely help you. Good luck and enjoy.